Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am Lone Cerberus, if you're watching this on YouTube, which you will be because I'm only going to put it on YouTube. And today is going to be a bit of a rant. So, fair warning, for those people wearing headphones, I will be getting loud at times, and also a language warning. Because I will be swearing at times, because I am actually that angry. Now, as you can see on the screen, I've got Resident Evil Outbreak. I've appear to be one of the very few people that actually play and enjoy this game. Now, as we all know, last week, if you're watching this on the day it goes out, last week Capcom announced not only Resident Evil Village or Resident Evil 8, but also Resident Evil Reverse. Here's where I'm now going to start ranting. What the actual fuck, Capcom? What the actual fuck? Not only have you absolutely destroyed the expectations of the Resident Evil fan base, but you have completely lost the fucking plot. Okay, I will say this. When Resident Evil Outbreak first came out in 2003, it was said to be an online game only. Whose fault is that? Ours or yours, Capcom? You put on the box, Capcom, online only. So if you're putting on the box, online only, then whose fault is it when players don't buy the fucking game because they think they can only play it online, you fucking morons? Maybe that will be why you didn't get many sales for Outbreak. Also at the time, 2003, many people did not have anything approaching the speed for playing this online. Again, not the average consumer's fault. Here's what really sticks in my fucking throat though. We're now in 2021. Broadband is available quite easily to a lot of people. A lot of people did not buy Outbreak because they thought they couldn't play it. Well, now they can. Because of broadband. You have screwed yourself over, Capcom. Seriously screwed yourself over. There are people who want to play this. There are people who want to play a cooperative online game, not fucking PvP. I thought you would have learnt your lesson from Resistance when you bundled it with Resident Evil 3 Remake. And I'm going to come on to the remakes in a few minutes, because that fucking wound me up as well. Resistance? You should have learnt from Resistance. Nobody fucking plays it, and everybody hates it. It's the 25th anniversary. You could have gone back and gone, oh, if we want online multiplayer, we could have re-released this Outbreak. And maybe, and I don't think it would have been hard for you to put in a PvP mode in Outbreak. Seriously. What the actual fuck, Capcom? Are you allergic to money? I mean, there are some people that say it didn't sell very well. That's true. That is true. It didn't sell well, but that's your fault, Capcom, not ours. You put on the box online only. You made that mistake. Own it, rectify it, and you might find people would actually play this. There are enough people playing this online. There are fan-made servers. Actual people who have gone out of their way to make servers to play this online. I know that because I've played online. So you've shot yourself in the foot. I mean, like I said, you should have learnt from Resistance. But now you're bundling Reverse? I'm sorry. But you obviously clearly did not learn from Resistance. And what are you going to do? You're going to monetize it. You are going to monetize Reverse, thinking that's the best thing to do. People wanted a re-release of Outbreak, particularly now we can play it properly. People wanted a remake of Code Veronica or Code Veronica X. But no, you decided to screw us over with Resident Evil Village and Reverse. You're only doing this for the relatively new players. The people who've been playing since Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, and Resident Evil 7. I tell you now, you re-release Outbreak, you'll get a lot more people playing. And as I say, if you really want a PvP, put it in Outbreak. Right. That's that part of the rant over. Next part. Stop fucking teasing Outbreak in the remakes! What do I mean by that? That's quite simple. The amount of instances that we see of Outbreak being referenced in remake is insane. And actually, I've just come to a part that fits in quite nicely, and it just so happens to be coincidence. Now, I haven't brought Bob up here with me, but we all know the cutscene I'm talking about, where Bob's sitting there, and the other three characters are all wondering what the hell to do here. And then in Resident Evil 3 Remake, once Jill jumps off the fire truck after fighting Nemesis on the rooftop, what do we hear? A radio call from Kevin, this character, saying that he's trapped in this building with a number of other survivors and is asking for advice. Other things in Resident Evil 3 Remake. Elephant Restaurant. The Elephant Restaurant is hinted at many times. Many times. In Resident Evil 3 Outbreak, you go into the little mini-mart on Main Street, and it's got tomato soup from the Elephant Restaurant. The Elephant Restaurant is in Outbreak File 2. You're hinting at it again. Shall I carry on? Yes, I will, because it gets more and more ludicrous that you're hinting at Outbreak and then you're not fucking giving it to us. Just around the corner from the mini-mart, Jim's Crabs. In great big neon lights, Jim's Crabs. The only Jim that can be referencing in Resident Evil is Jim Chapman from Resident Evil Outbreak. More evidence that you're teasing us. And you've got no fucking intention of re-releasing Outbreak when you should do. Half of Resident Evil 3 Remake takes place in the subway system. What else takes place in the subway system? A scenario in Resident Evil Outbreak. File 2, but Resident Evil Outbreak. More hints at Resident Evil Outbreak. Rita, in fact, all the police officers in the RPD, with the exception of Kevin. Outside of Marvin, Leon, and the stars, how many other police officers did we know before Outbreak? None. And then in Outbreak we get, or not just Outbreak, but Outbreak File 2 as well, we get Kevin, we get Rita, Elliot, Harry, you know, more police officers. And all these people, all these officers are referenced in Resident Evil 2 Remake. Again, stop with the hints and actually give us Resident Evil Outbreak, not necessarily a remake, but a re-release. Resident Evil 2 also has the Mr. Raccoon statues that you have to go around and destroy to get the infinite knife. Mr. Raccoon is the mascot of Raccoon City Zoo. A whole scenario of Outbreak File 2 takes place in Raccoon Zoo. Stop dropping hints and give us the actual game. If you're not going to give us the game, stop dropping fucking hints. Please. I personally think this is a really, really good game. Both of them. But if you're not going to do it, stop dropping hints. That's what I've got to say on the matter. I'm angry. You had a perfect opportunity to re-release this game. Yeah, there are some people who say it's not a great game. There are some people who say it's non-canonical, to which I say bullshit. Not all the scenarios are canon, I'll give you that. I, for example, cannot get my head around Flashback, which is the one that takes place in the hospital in File 2. Can't get my head around that because the characters at that point have left the city. So why would they go around the hospital to only go back into the city? But there are people out there who play Dead Aim. There are people out there who play Survivor 2. And there are people out there who play Operation Raccoon City and Umbrella Corps. Not necessarily canon games, but they're still played. You can make a reasonable suggestion that the Outbreak games are canon, particularly Desperate Times where Marvin gets bitten.
The whole city's a war zone. We need all the help we can get. Now,
but
over there to build a barricade. Go!
Obviously, I don't think I'm going to be listened to. In fact, I know I'm not going to be listened to because I have a very small following. And I'm just one of those people that can be ignored. But that doesn't stop me putting my opinion out there. But anyway, that's what I've got to say on the matter. If you're not going to give the fans what they want, don't expect to be getting money in your purses and pockets, Capcom. Will I be buying Resident Evil Village? Probably, but I'm going to wait for it to go down in price before I get it. The only thing you can do the only thing Capcom can do now to start getting my money again is one of three things. I know people are going to find this controversial, but one of three they've got to do three things in my mind to get my faith again and to get the money out of my pocket. One, if they're going to do anything with Resident Evil 4, do an official remastering of it. Doesn't need a remake and it doesn't need a re-release. Just remaster it. I know there are mods out there, but I'm talking about an official one from Capcom. Now, if they have released one, it's gone over my head and I don't know about it, so I do apologise if I've made that mistake. So remaster Resident Evil 4. It doesn't need it, but it would be nice. Remake Code Veronica. People are crying out for a remake of that game, and Capcom is just completely ignoring the players and the fans. And finally, re-release this. Re-release Resident Evil Outbreak. Let people find out how good this game was and can be. Imagine taking somebody around here doing all this and guiding somebody through the city and doing all this cooperatively. Seriously. You know, I know the whole thing right now is PvP and battle royales, but imagine being the first company to come out of that little bubble and think, let's do something cooperatively for this generation. It just beggars belief why you won't listen to fans. Yeah, and it hurts. It really does hurt that you won't listen to fans. I remember being told a long time ago, and it's stuck with me ever since. And it's just it's not a business thing as such. Well, it is a business thing, but it's a way to look at getting money. And it's this. It's a little phrase I learned, and it's this. You can fleece a sheep many times, but you can kill it only once. Now, if that doesn't make sense to anybody, that basically means if you've got a good product, such as Capcom had with Resident Evil, then it's going to have a loyal fan base who will pay whatever they want for the next installment, providing it's good and not Resident Evil 6. But they have lost with the release of Resident Evil Village or Resident Evil 8 and Reverse. They would have lost so many, and I mean so many of the fans, so many fans. And unfortunately, it's going to take Capcom a hell of a lot to get those loyal fans back. So that is my rant, and that is my rant now over. And on that, I shall leave you, and I shall leave you with my thoughts. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm right. I expect that there'll be some people who will stick up for what Capcom have done. I expect that. But it's just my thoughts, my 2 cents. And so I leave you with that thought. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. I hope I didn't offend too many people, and I hope I didn't blow too many speakers. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.